Want an easy way to see if you could save money on car insurance? Geico gives you 3. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Go online to geico.com or stop by the Geico office nearest you. 3 ways you could save 15% or more.
Don Le Batard.
You're announcing that you will not announce that they are a good team until they've won back-to-back.
Yeah.
But because you are taking away all of Kevin Durant's championships in your personal record book,
right,
you are never allowing him to win them back-to-back, even if they win them back-to-back, thus securing that you never have to identify them as a great team.
Correct.
Stugats.
I hate when I wander around in your head and see all the empty spaces and the tumbleweed blown around in it.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. You can find that on Periscope now. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show. What?
No!
What?
You can never be subtle.
What? I can't. Couldn't resist. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. With momentum gathering to reshape the one-and-done draft entry rule, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and NBPA Executive Director Michelle Roberts met with the new commissioner on college basketball in Washington on Thursday. So, new commissioner for college basketball. Did you know that? Were you aware of that?
No.
There's a commissioner now for college hoops?
I did not know that.
Is it Billis?
I don't know.
Oh.
Commission.
Did you read? You read it wrong?
Maybe. Coach Luke Walton says rookie Lonzo Ball remains the L.A. Lakers starting point guard and that there's no talk of moving the number 2 overall draft pick to the bench.
That's infuriating.
I haven't gone back and looked at it yet.
That's infuriating.
Did you know there's a new commission on college basketball? Did you know that?
Keep it moving, Stugats.
Is that a fine?
Yes.
I don't know if that's a fine for me, and now that's a fine for you for fining me for something that you shouldn't be fining me for.
That's only a fine for you, which now makes it another
this is
dollar.
all getting confusing.
Yeah, you just blamed Roy, so that's another fine.
And finally, officials with the Naval Air Station Whidbey Island said one of their aircraft was involved in the obscene skywritings spotted in Okanagan County. In a statement, News Navy officials said the Navy holds its aircrew to the highest standards, and we find this absolutely unacceptable, of zero training value, and we are holding the crew accountable. Photos of a giant dong in the sky surfaced when they were taken by a concerned mother who then passed the photos along to a local TV station.
Concerned mothers are the best. I'm a big fan of concerned mothers. I feel like it'd be okay to live your life by principles. America and the world would be a better place. I mean, we might be a little repressed, but concerned mothers is a good way to go and do things. We might be a little too careful, but we'd err on the side of caution.
For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Guillermo, put it on the poll, please. Would you be okay with concerned mothers, put it in quotes, being president of the United States? Seriously, I'd be good with giving concerned mothers power.
Yeah. I mean, concerned mothers, though, they take it to like a whole new level. Like, be careful what you wish for there.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that there wouldn't be drawbacks.
Rules would be very strict,
No, I understand there would be drawbacks on concerned mothers. I do, that's what I said, would be a little bit more repressed. There would be more rules. Yes, for sure.
That's what that means?
But I think it would come from, a loving place.
Why are you guys telling me I owe money? What's going on?
No, I'm just going to take all 15 of these dollars that Stugats has put up here because he threw $10 at me before because he was frustrated, and we're going to put all of this in the fine bucket.
No change.
Right.
No change.
No change
for
today.
Stugats.
All right.
No.
I think you guys got some apologizing to do on Danny Ainge, though.
I'll fire off the Stugats was right image.
What? You will? What?
Stugats was right? Holy Stugats was right.
Wait. What's he right about?
Well, Danny Ainge hasn't been a bad general manager when it comes to drafting players. He's found some value, and he's often picking outside the top 10.
Well, that was unfair what I did to him when I just blurted Fab Melo as a low first-round pick at somebody who was a bust in Boston. I was actually thinking of Sullinger. but the body types are very different between Melo and Sullinger, and I was stumbling around looking for a name, and then I became self-conscious because I thought I was going to get the name wrong, and so I just blurted Fab Melo when I meant Sullinger, who was a top 10
Really
pick.
unfair of me to put you guys in that position to come up with a name right off the top of your head.
Well,
yeah. How's it feel?
Actually, Sullinger was a 21st overall selection, and at 21, Sullinger's probably giving you a nice contribution.
Oh, wow. So Sullinger wasn't – so I'm wrong again.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm wrong about Fab Melo and Jared Sullinger. All right.
Now, there's been Lucas Nogueiras, there's been R.J. Hunters, but at the same token, there's been a Marcus Thornton that he got in the second round. Terry Rozier, who looks like he might be a player, and Jaylen Brown didn't look like a good selection at 3 overall last year, but now he's certainly developed.
It's the top 5 picks you got to hit on, right? Those are the picks you really need to hit on. He hit on Jaylen Brown. He's hit on Tatum. He acquired the assets. He was patient with the assets, and then apparently he's used them on the right players.
I don't believe that Danny Ainge –
Hayward, maybe not.
I don't believe – what, really? You're going to do that to him on Hayward?
Well, I'm just saying that he used an asset to get – well, no, he was a free agent, so I guess it's a free agent signing. He used his assets to get Kyrie Irving. But I'm not doing that to Hayward. It's just,
I mean,
out for a year.
You can make the argument that he uses assets to make Boston a destination for Gordon Hayward to make that look attractive.
Hold on a second.
Also signed a pretty good coach.
Hold on a second.
Winner.
Let's just rewind for a second, because I'm not going to allow you guys to change the entire narrative around somebody after 14 games. And what I want to talk to you about that I do actually think is an interesting sports conversation is we've done this before, right? Josh McDaniels knew everything. Started whatever it was, 7-0, 8-0. Oh, my God, he's so brilliant. And then it fell apart. We make appraisals very quickly. The Vikings last year were 5-0. The Chiefs this year 5-0. We make appraisals really quickly about the job someone is doing and whether they're good at their job. The way that I think I'd like to discuss this is the idea of, first of all, I don't believe that Danny Ainge has a secret ability to see talent in players that allows him to make the unscientific thing like the draft something that he does better than other people. I don't think Danny Ainge sits next to Pat Riley and Greg Popovich and all of them are looking at the court and Danny Ainge is seeing something that other people are not seeing. I don't believe that that's an actual skill.
All right.
Danny Ainge, until recently, has been viewed as somebody that the reputation has been that guy is not special at his job. I am willing to say that he has done his job well now that we have in clear vision what it is that the fruits are. Now you could say that someone who has not historically been a good general manager has been good recently. But what I'd be willing to discuss with you is I think a good conversation point on this is it possible that a general manager isn't actually a good general manager, that they just go through periods where they're doing their job well and where they're doing their job poorly, that there is no such thing as a good general manager, that if I took Greg Popovich right now and I had him go run the Sacramento Kings, that he wouldn't be able to recreate it over there.
That if you gave a guy like Danny Ainge, you guaranteed him 30 years, he would have a good decade, a good 5 years, a bad 5 years, a good 5 years.
You'd be bad, you'd be there wouldn't be very many Spurs.
But the Popovich thing has been going on for like 20 years
Yeah, for
now.
20 years, they have only not had a winning record for something like 40 days.
But you'd concede that there's certainly bad general managers, right?
Well, but Henke was the one we all thought was the worst general manager.
But
and
there were many people, they weren't the loud majority, but there was a minority there that was vocal about, hey, Henke's actually doing the right thing, trust the process.
I'm willing to concede that they're bad general managers. What I'm saying to you guys, though, is that the drafting of players is largely not a skill. We're doing a lot of lotto ball playing with general managing. The place that Danny Ainge did his job well, the place that I could point to and say, that was smart and well done, is, of course, trading his stars at the end for assets that then turned into Brooklyn failure and then netted him the ability to have a larger margin for error at the top of the draft because he's less likely to miss on Tatum if he's in the top 5 than he is on Sullinger and Fab Melo in the 20s.
I think I'm with you on this. I think the Sixers are a perfect example of what we're talking about because they hit on Embiid and they hit on Ben Simmons, but they did not hit on Okafor. They did not hit on Nerlens Noel, and we don't know about Markelle Fultz yet.
I'm not with you. You're changing the construct of what fandom is too much here. No, I'd like to be able to say that's a good general manager and and a bad general
Oh,
manager.
so you don't think there's a conversation point to be had about the idea that just like players have good seasons and bad seasons, that good general managers can have bad seasons? Like, you're not willing to even consider it in those terms? Somebody is either a good coach. You understand what I'm asking?
Well, Mike,
you guys,
Ozzie
right?
Newsom's considered a great GM in the NFL, and he hasn't been. They haven't been
No,
great.
but
lately.
Ozzie Newsome was great for a long period of time, and then they gave a bunch of money to Joe Flacco, which wasn't very smart. And now look what's happened to everything around Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome was a good general manager over those 10 years that he was building the Ravens, and right now he might not be doing as good a job.
I mean, they're a game out of the playoff hunt, so their season's far
No,
from
but
over.
you're not willing to. You're not willing to entertain the possibility that a general manager can have a bad run.
Yeah, they can have
Be good at his job.
Yeah, they can have unlucky runs. There could be injuries that people will blame them for. You can miss on a pick, but I'm not going to look at Golden State and say that's not a good general manager when they had an incredible draft and they signed Steph Curry to this amazing value deal initially.
Yes, but do you think they could recreate it? Do you think that they have a skill set? Do you think that the people who build that in Golden State have a skill set that if I told them right now, go run Sacramento, salary capped league, legislated equality, go run Sacramento, you're not going to have any real advantages in terms of money or anything?
Yeah, I have to believe that.
You believe they can recreate it wherever they go?
I believe if you put Pat Riley in charge of any front office in the NBA, he's going to find success. Because,
Sacramento, Mike, really?
Yes, because he changes cultures. What was Miami before Pat Riley came over here?
Oh, well, an easy place to recruit for the city. It was that. But Sacramento's a harder sell. I'm just interested in this conversation. I'm not saying I'm right about anything. I'm just asking you to consider the possibility that general managers, how recreatable this is, because I do believe that Belichick could do it. I don't believe I'm willing to extend it to anybody else.
Was Danny Ainge, though, in charge of that team? Was it the Pierce Garnett's? He brought that all together, right?
Yeah, he traded with his friend Kevin McHale.
Well, that's what okay, but he built up a championship team. Fine, you have to have relationships. That's important, too. Riley has them.
Absolutely.
He built up a championship team and stripped it down and got a lot of value in return for some of those guys who were way past their prime.
Yes.
And he's done well with it. He's done well with those assets he's acquired.
Agreed.
Sports.
Yes, so much sports.
Very sporty. I love
so
it.
much sports.
15 years.
Money, 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 money.
The show today was supposed to be Method Man. Oh, no, that was yesterday's show. Method Man, Diplo, and...
Yeah, well, Method Man was today. But he was supposed to be yesterday.
Thank you.
And Bill Burr on, too.
Thanks to everyone listening on ESPN 1310. Oops, I'm reading the wrong ad. My bad.
All right. Fine.
That's not a fine. That's another $1 for you.
Oh, come on, man.
There's football this weekend. That calls for a glass of Larceny Bourbon. You're setting a record today for fines. You're at $16. Larceny Bourbon. Let this weekend be the fun one.
Did you
for
say the wrong company name? I think you did that at the front end there. That's another thing.
I was reading the wrong thing.
Fines everywhere. You have $5.
I want you to go back and listen to this segment when you go home.
Well, I own this segment.
When you go home, I want you to go back and listen to this segment and see how many different ways you played defense against me during this segment.
Really?
Yes.
I think I agree with you at one point.
No.
GM stuff.
No. You need to listen to the number of mistakes you made. You really do. Like I want you to tweet out at the end of the day today that you listen to this segment and just give us a count on the number of things that you did that were bad radio.
Okay. Let's think of all the things. Oh, I know one for sure. Wow, sorry about that.
Dan Batard.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Are you disturbed at all that Stugotz thinks extortion and blackmail are normal business practices?
Stugotz.
It has to drive you crazy because you are smart, you are well thought out, you are reasonable, you are balanced, and I just come in with blackmail, COB.
And they love you more.
Yep, spot on is
And
what they're saying.
I'm so envious. I want their love.
You're not going to get it.
Their love's important to me. I want the love of dumb people.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Mike, this is what I would like to do. Can you help me do it, please? I was thinking of something tonight, but I don't want you guys to have your weekend ruined, especially since the Marty Party is blowing through here.
Oh, boy.
He texted, he said, I'm on my way, boys.
He's still here?
Yeah.
I got hats.
He's still around here somewhere, and so I don't want to ruin your evening. So at 1:00, I believe that the segment we just did was the worst segment in the history of our show,
right.
And I want Stugotz, and his fault and mine. I want Stugotz to like live tweet about it or like do a Facebook Live where he's listening to it and where he's like breaking down like John Gruden would break down like all the mistakes that were made and how they were made, because I believe we just got done doing what was the worst segment in our history.
That's because you lost the segment. I understand you feeling that way. I won it. But you want us to do this at 1 o'clock? I got a tea time today, man, but I will do it at 1 o'clock.
Well, I was trying to make it at 1 o'clock so that it wouldn't be 7 o'clock and ruin Mike's and your weekend plans.
Okay, so you want to do this at 1, Mike?
I'm pretty sure that segment already ruined my weekend plans.
Too sporty for you?
It was pretty bad. The whole thing was pretty bad.
I enjoyed it.
But speaking of pretty bad, Mike, I can't believe that we are again in this position. Would you please get me the name or the sound of that Buffalo Wild Wings host? Was his name Anthony Rizzo? No, his name is Rizzo of some sort, but it's not Anthony. That guy plays for the Cubs. Do not hit me with a fine.
I wasn't.
So that guy wanted to fight people at a Buffalo Wild Wings because I can't believe we're here again, Mike. We've got the chance. Do you remember the show that we did?
I sure as hell can believe we're here again.
Do you? All right. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, last year on the air, as the Cleveland Browns were headed to 0-16, one day I got mad at this Cleveland radio host named Rizzo something or another Rizzo. And he was threatening to fight people who didn't have enough Browns allegiances that they would allow a parade celebrating their 0-16 season in Cleveland to be done by our radio show. And so we did a first segment where we raised a bunch of money because somebody was going to do the parade. They needed a budget for the parade. We raised that money in first segment to have the parade in Cleveland. It was all born of what this Rizzo guy did.
If you're one of the people out there that is planning a parade for 0-16, I will fight you. Come down and see me right now. I am at Buffalo Wild Wings. You're going to celebrate my misery for 4 months? That is the loserest of all loser moves I have ever heard in my life. How dumb is that? Who thinks that's a good idea?
So we need to get another parade going. Another 0-16 parade for the Cleveland Browns. Like, what do we need to do right now to start planning that parade and now rooting for the Cleveland Browns to just lose the rest of their games?
Well, the parade is already being planned again. I'm glad by the same organizers that did it last time. Yeah. And if the Browns, and this is a big if the Browns happen to stumble into a win this season, then all the proceeds go to the Greater Cleveland Food Bank.
Okay, but Excellent. Wait a minute. Can we take the money we raised last year and just pull? Can we push it?
No, we lost all the money that we donated last year. That went to the Cleveland Food Bank.
Right, that's where it goes, Dan, to charity.
Oh, no, but I want to. Can we go back? Hold on. Can we go back to the Cleveland Food Bank and ask them for our money back so we can pour it back into this parade?
I'm pretty certain they've already used that money.
Yeah, we can't really take over someone else's parade.
But I can't believe we're in the same place again, where the Browns are again. I feel like we should go to the food bank and get our money back.
Yeah, they have a GoFundMe. And it's not how charity works either. Especially
I know, but
food.
we never intended to give to charity. We intended to make fun of the Browns, and then accidentally, because we raised money on behalf of this parade last year, we gave to charity accidentally.
Yeah, they hit us with the okey doke. We didn't get our money back. We were funding a parade.
Can this guy work at a discount this year? I feel like he owes us a little bit, doesn't he?
He's got to GoFundMe, GoFundMe.com/Browns.
No. That's not. I don't want his internet panhandling.
He's got a website. Well, that's how we did it last year. We sent everybody to the GoFundMe.
I know, but we can't do that now. I'm not giving that guy more money right now.
Right, so here's what I suggest. We wait until they actually lose all their games.
No, I want to build up to it. No, I want to be a rallying point. I want to be a beacon, a lighthouse.
You're just going to, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Same thing is going to happen. They're going to win a game towards the end of the year, get a home game against the Ravens, and whatever money we put into this thing is going to go to the food bank.
How many failed parades do you want to be a part of, Dan? Like, this is a strange thing you're doing.
Dan Le Batard.
I listened to Dan's show while I was in Florida last week, I listened every day, came in the afternoon. He's got a good show.
Stugotz.
It's got a very good show. Oh, it's impeccably produced. Oh, goodness. That is like a training show for kids on how to produce radio.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Another Friday, another Marty Party here on the Batard Show. He's at studio with us. We love having him. Here's your SportsCenter update. With momentum gathering to reshape the one-and-done draft entry rule, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and NBPA Executive Director Michelle Roberts met with a new commission on college basketball in Washington on Thursday.
Commission.
Commission, not a commissioner.
Did you know there's a commission, though?
College basketball does not have a commissioner.
Coach Luke Walton says rookie Lonzo Ball remains the Lakers' starting point guard and that there's no talk of moving the number 2 overall pick to the bench. And finally, the average pasta serving size is 480% larger than what's recommended.
Yikes.
Yeah. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
So because it's Friday and because everybody wants to be around a Marty Party at all times, Marty Smith is just lingering around
I just
Miami.
randomly popped in here. They didn't know I was coming.
Lingering.
When are you leaving?
I mean, he's just hanging around. Mike, I just had something happen that's never happened to me before. I looked down at my right shoulder, and I was like, man, I got some schmutz on there. What is that? It's like, it's clay. What is that? And I'm just like rubbing it off, and I realized it's because I hugged Marty, and whatever his makeup.
Yeah,
his makeup is, whatever his orange sludge
Get
is.
this, man. Like, I don't just have like one layer. I have the one layer, and then I go in for the second layer, which is like a different color.
Right.
And it's a damn train wreck. Like, I mean, I end up looking like an Oompa Loompa, and I just let it ride.
You're a great hugger, man.
What about this beard balm?
What about it?
Oh, but listen, I'm a big time hugger. I like
you going
to hug.
deep? You going deep? You and I going deep. We going tight. Dan does it. You tried to put one
You're
on
not a
Dan.
hugger.
No, he doesn't like that.
This
stuff.
Dan
No,
Levitard is not a hugger.
No.
I try, and it's like he's like, ugh, get off.
No,
I squeezed you for a good minute.
On.
Right?
You did. We had a big time bro hug.
It was warm. Yeah.
No, here's what happened. I will tell you what happened just so that you know, so that you don't feel like I'm an inferior hugger and you don't judge my hugging abilities. Hold on a second. I'll tell you what happened. You're here with your producer, Jonathan Wiley, who has also
Happy
been
birthday.
here. Happy birthday to Jonathan Wiley.
Big fofo, baby.
He has been here as much as you have, lingering around our studios like a bad bathroom smell. And what happened is, so I shook his hand. And I've seen him just as much as you, and I met him at the same time as you, and I have the same relationship with him as you. I shook his hand, and then you came in for a hug, and I didn't want him to feel inferior in his relationship to me.
But it is inferior.
I know, but
It's not the same relationship.
So that's what happened. That was the awkwardness you felt, and then you smudged my shoulder with your orange goop
I really
face.
did ruin your shirt.
I mean, because you were just a very aggressive hugger. So it's not that I'm...
It makes some people really uncomfortable, like super uncomfortable. Yeah. But I'm like, give me a hug. I want a hug.
I think you make people very happy with hugs and everything.
But you have to read the person. Like, I'm going to give you a nice big embrace.
I don't hug
warm
Nick
hug.
Saban.
Right. Well,
you
exactly.
don't? I bet you Nick Saban would love to be hugged by you.
I'm going to try. I got the Iron Bowl next weekend. I'm going to try to hug him.
Have you noticed that Nick Saban is looking more every day like Mrs. Claus?
Ooh. I haven't studied him that closely, aesthetically.
He laughed the other day, and I saw flashes of her in his smile.
Is he wearing like that monocle? Does Mrs. Claus wear a monocle? No, she goes with the double.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I saw it too. Yeah.
Monocle is what the Monopoly guy.
He was laughing about the ripped jeans or something
That's
like that, right?
And he smiled at the end. Guillermo, put it on the poll. When Nick Saban laughed about ripped jeans, did he have a hint of resemblance to Mrs. Claus?
What was the resemblance?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Stem?
I don't know. It just, his smile brought light into my life, and it made me think of Santa's Greatest Love.
Apologies. I make that mistake every year where I say the Monopoly guy has a monocle and he doesn't. He should.
You know who has a monocle is Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Mr. Peanut goes monocle.
You were
See,
right. I'm glad
the Monopoly guy goes with the double, right?
No glasses.
Monopoly guy's 2020.
Vision.
Yeah, he's 2020.
Well, who knew? How about that, actually?
Were you
boys?
worried when he said Mr. P, like where that was going? Or was that just me?
Mr. Peanut.
I am laughing at Marty's authority, the authority with which Marty thundered into this game and is like, no. You guys think you've got monocle game? Oh, watch this, Mr. Peanut. And he really just threw a trump card down. Like, what do you do? What is like if I say to you monocle, word association, go ahead. Where else
Mr.
you
Peanut.
going? I know, but I'm saying if I'm trying to beat
Monocle.
Marty, what can I beat him with? I can't beat him with anything.
Did any of those like goblins or ghouls or whatever they called those guys in Lord of the Rings, did they wear monocles?
Why would a goblin have a piece of corrective eyelid?
Is a goblin a ghost?
I actually think he's right about this.
Wait a minute, what?
Stugatz has my back.
Wait a minute.
There
what?
was a goblin that wore a corrective
Why would there?
There's a goblin who wore a monocle.
Goblins don't even have eyes.
This can't
Why
be
would
right.
they need a corrective eye?
This can't be right. Hold on a second. And I'm not sure. Are monocles worn? Aren't monocles just thrown
Mr.
up to your
Peanut wears his. Every time I'm eating peanuts and I look at that box, he's got that damn monocle on.
There is a goblin with a monocle.
That can't be
I mean, I'm looking at it right now.
That cannot be
I told
right.
y'all, look,
that
yeah,
cannot be right. Let me
Internet
see.
says it's
Let me
true, it's
see.
true.
Let me see. There cannot be
there's
a
all kinds of
goblin
no, there is.
with a monocle in Game of Thrones.
Get some. His name's LARP.
LARP. What's up?
How about that?
Is that indeed Game of Thrones?
No.
I don't think that's Game of Thrones. I think you guys were just showing me puppets.
Can I full disclosure?
LARP is live action role play. That's what that stands for.
Ooh, that doesn't sound very good for a family show, does it?
Yeah, so that's just somebody out there that likes to play in fantasy role-playing games that decided to make their goblin.
I didn't do anything.
You read the internet wrong.
I just said I saw a goblin with a monocle.
Although, in your defense, LARP does sound like a goblin's name.
Thank you.
So, did you guys see? I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a fan who wrote me on the Twitter and said that they went to see Marty Stewart in concert last night. And Marty Stewart is this amazing, famous musician. He was in Johnny Cash's band as a kid. All right, it's Marty Stewart. And he has one of the most tremendous mullets in the history of the great militia. This guy went to see Marty Stewart last night at some honky-tonk, and he started yelling, "Marty Party, Marty Party," because he had heard the Marty Party on the Le Batard show, and he got the whole section hollering Marty Party. Because of you clowns. How about that?
Right. That didn't have anything to do with what we were talking about.
No, it doesn't, but I just thought about it.
All right, but that's good that your thoughts sometimes
Did
come
I include you guys on that tweeter or not? I meant to.
It really doesn't matter. Oh, look at Marty's got to go to the bucket of death. Marty's got to go to the bucket of death.
By the way, I lost last week because I had the Chicago Bears. Can you lose in a more ridiculous way than the Chicago Bears
Than the
lost
John
last
Fox
weekend?
challenge that crushed you, the John Fox challenge. So now, thank you,
Foxy.
thank you, Dominique. We appreciate you coming in here with the bucket of death.
All right, Dominique, here we go, baby.
All right.
Who'd you pick?
Two monocles together, glasses.
Does you should bring the monocle back? Do you have corrective eyewear? Did you ever get LASIK?
Marty, pull it up. Let's see. Oh, the Patriots. Patriots.
I will keep it.
Mexico City.
That's a
Mexico
neutral
City.
field, neutral field.
7-point favorite. They're 7-point favorite.
Who are they playing?
Oakland.
Raiders.
Oakland.
You throwing it back?
No, he's got it.
You're good.
He's
Yeah,
keeping
good.
it.
Smart.
All right,
Brady,
Marty
man.
Smith, thank you. Marty Party has begun. Thank you, sir. Always love having you around.
I love you guys. You guys are friends.
Love you
Money,
too,
money,
man.
money.
I loved you before I even met you, to be honest with you.
We all
I appreciate
did.
that.
We all did.
Don Le Batard. It's Friday. I'm getting into the weekend. I want to get my drink on. Stugatz.
We've got to open up the club. Open it.
Open it. Open it. Now.
What is the computer buffering?
There it is. This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio.
All right, we got some things going on here, and we want to open up the club for the weekend. So the NFL is investigating an allegation that Jameis Winston groped a female Uber driver in March of 2016, according to BuzzFeed. Vontez Burfict says officials are, in fact, trying to provoke him.
All right.
Stugatz has, after the show today, he's going to do, is it Twitter Live or Facebook Live?
We're gonna do it on Twitter Live. We're gonna break down the first segment of this hour, which you maintain is the worst segment we've
in
ever
the
done.
history of our show. I'm maintaining.
Yes, it's called Periscope, but it'll show up on Twitter.
Okay. So when I say to you, is it Twitter Live? And you say, yes, Twitter Live. And then Mike comes in and says Periscope. Should I punch you in the face next time you do that? Or should I just always let that one go?
That's a you call.
Okay.
I mean, whatever you want to do.
Okay. So Periscope. So I was asking specifically for what
it's on
Mike
Twitter,
said,
yeah.
but you just gave people the wrong information. It's just another way of promoting you. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So after the show, this has been one of the worst hours in the history of this show.
I beg to differ.
Oh, Marty saved it.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, maybe.
And the first segment of it, I maintain, was the flume into hell.
We'll see on Twitter Live.
Let's update. So after that, Twitter Live, Periscope, after the show, you can check in. Stugatz is going to be doing some bonus coverage. Go ahead and, Stugatz, tell the people the poll sponsor, please.
Twitter poll is brought to you by Upside.com, giving all business travelers the gift of a better travel experience this holiday season. Upside.com. Are trap games and letdown games synonymous and friends? I read that wrong.
No, you're fine.
Okay, 73% of the audience said yes.
Mm-hmm. We know what you meant.
Would Antonio Brown be recognized while eating dinner in South Beach? 55% of the audience said no.
All right.
Did you know that Larry Coker is no longer at UTSA? 84% of the audience said no. What does Jerry Jones drink fine beverages out of? 49% of the audience said a human skull. What's more expensive?
I just love the idea of somebody tuning in right there. Just keep it moving.
What's more expensive? Panda poo tea, cat poop coffee. 68% of the audience said Panda Poo tea. Is Jerry Richardson falling asleep during owners' meetings? 95% of the audience, overwhelming.
Yeah.
Said yes.
So Xerxes.
Well, he's got uppers.
Different reason.
Yeah.
Open up the club. Speaking of which, open it. Go ahead. Sponsor, Stugatz. Sponsor. Give us the club sponsor.
The club is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Upgrade the shaving with a fresh blade whenever you want for a fraction of the price. Join DollarShaveClub.com today.
Here's some uppers for you.
That's a Wrong Debbie Deb song.
That's a fun.
How did you pull up the Wrong Debbie Deb song?
Well, they're obviously right next to each other. That's the first time that's happened.
She only had two songs. I know this was important to you, so I just want to update it real quickly. 68% of the audience said agrees with you that when Nick Saban laughed that he resembled Mrs. Claus.
Okay, it is very important to me. Thank you. There we go. This hour, man. Holy
awesome.
Bleep. This is what we do at the end of every week. We send you into the weekend. Send you into the weekend with a bunch of drinks and uppers and sounds from the week. First sound in the club is?
If you're one of the people out there that is planning a parade for 0-16, I will fight you.
All right, we'll make him security. He's not allowed in the club. He'll be outside the club. What else? What other sound?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay, that's fine. You stay threatening people, Rizzo, outside the club. You're not allowed in the club. What else is in the club?
I watched the first half of that game, and he had 46 points and 15 rebounds, and he was 2 of 3 from 3. I watched that entire game.
So there's Stugatz lying. That is at the bar. Stugatz is at the bar of this club just lying to everybody. What else is in the club?
I hate him.
I don't remember. What was that about? That's Ryan Clark. Who was he talking about, Brock? Blake Bortles. Yes.
I hate him.
Good analysis by Ryan Clark.
Close.
Who else is in the club? Where have you played? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, no. I interrupted that guy. Was that Diplo 4 times, 5 times?
Yep.
Paid DJ.
Yeah,
you made like $30 million last year. All right, scratch it, DJ. That's fine. Did I misunderstand? Yeah.
Excuse
me. Thank you. But if I had said to you, for the love of God, we trampled each other so many times.
Oh, no, you just trampled him, my friend.
But if I had said to you, who else is in the club? Okay, that is Dominic Foxworth showing us the voice exercises that Jonathan Coachman does. Jonathan Coachman is still mad at us about this. Jonathan Coachman is now on Periscope.
Klondike bar? You want a Klondike bar, sir? Dad, I just threw it at the cab. I threw it through a cab window.
That is Stugatz selling ice cream on the street to passerbys, of course.
I'm going to work at a charity angle. I'm just giving you guys a peek behind the curtain here.
That is Stugatz still on the street working a charity angle, 3 for $1 ice cream.
Dan, we are moving products.
What else
you know, a calm doesn't suit me, a storm does.
Why do you say that?
The tougher it gets, the better I'm going to get.
McAdoo! McAdoo!
I need to apologize. I honestly, until after the segment ended and we went to commercial break, had no idea that Jonathan Coachman was black.